All right, guys. So our next topic it brings us to the world of the Matrix because yet another familiar face is returning to the Matrix 4, the sequel we never knew we wanted in the Matrix 4. Um, but we're getting another familiar face, and it's not a face that you would kind of first come to your mind. It's not Hugo Weaving, who initially was supposed to return at one point, but the scheduling didn't allow for it. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with why this fella is returning back. Calls for speculation, but Agent Johnson himself, which was one of the unnamed agents, they never referred to him as Agent Johnson in the first Matrix movie, but Agent Johnson from the first Matrix movie is coming back in Matrix 4. So, like I said, guys, I'm wondering if this has anything to do with, I don't know if you guys saw the story a while back where Hugo Weaving was initially going to be coming back to reprise the role of Agent Smith in some capacity for the fourth Matrix movie, but there was like scheduling conflicts. He was like filming something else. He ended up not being able to get the schedule to work out for him to do it, which kind of led at least me to believe that whatever role they had for Agent Smith was going to be small if they could just continue doing the movie without him, without any problems. So I'm wondering if like this actually has any sort of ramifications towards where they're just going to bring, him back to play an agent. Maybe they just need another agent back. I always liked him, and I liked these original agent crew in the first movie. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not mistaken, did he blew up Smith at the end, right? That's who he jumped inside of and blew up, right? Or did he blow up that guy?
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah. At the end of the first one, he jumped into Smith, right? Because he's the one jumping in. And he fought him in the hallway, right? That was Smith, right?
And that's how Smith ends up kind of
having the one stuff.
Yeah, he becomes like separated from the Matrix somehow. He's no longer just a part of the
program.
Code. He's a rogue program at that point because of that scene, right? I'm pretty sure that's how that
works. Yeah, I think that's how they were tying it in. Like, when he jumped inside of him, like some of like Neo's code, like corrupted Smith's code, and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. I think it's cool that they're bringing this guy back though. Yeah. But it really brings up a lot of questions for me as far as the movie goes, because like I said, they were going to bring Smith back, but like
they didn't.
I know, but like not even so much that they didn't, but like just the way the movie ends, like what was he going to do?
True.
Like,
true.
You know what I mean? How was he going to, like, how was Smith back?
Maybe
was it just going to be like the original Smith program, not like a corrupt Smith, and just have him like pop in? I feel like it's kind of a waste too. Like, because if you're going to bring Hugo Weaving back to play Agent Smith, why would you have him just come in to be like a cameo of like what Smith was before the corruption? I feel like that's kind of boring. It's just wasted if they were going to go that route. Sure. But obviously, since they, like I said, before, he wasn't going to have that big of a role if they're able just to like not have him in the movie. So I imagine they're probably just using him as a replacement, but I don't know just why. I don't know. What do you guys think like they have a need for this for? It's like we have no general idea of where they're even going with this.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, my only guess would be that that the Matrix has reestablished itself, that whatever piece or whatever kind of what am I trying to say? Whatever kind of agreement that Neo's people and the Matrix the machines had come to at the end of 3, that somehow being stripped away, and maybe his presence is a reassertion of the machines of their dominance over the human. I don't know. I mean, it really. I mean, the question of why he's back is as equally compelling to me as the question of why they're doing a 4th Matrix movie. I mean, what part of this story is left to tell?
That's the thing. Like, funnily enough, Matrix is probably like it's hard to say it's like my favorite movies of all time, just knowing how like kind of like downhill the thing went. Like, because I find enjoyment in all 3 of the movies. Like, the first one is obviously the best one.
Like,
nobody even argues that. You know what I mean? It's nowhere near as like controversial as like Godfather 1 versus Godfather 2 or Empire versus Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows the Matrix 1 is the best Matrix movie. Like, I don't think anybody's arguing.
Empire's way better than Jedi.
I agree.
True.
But the space battle in Jedi is unparalleled.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't.
They didn't bring Return of the
They're
Jedi
both
back
good.
in theaters though.
They're both. That's true. They didn't. They brought Empire back. That is true. But the theaters might not be there too much longer. Like, stay tuned for more on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. With so with the Matrix 4 though, when Matrix 3 ended, I always wanted to know, just with how it ends, like what happened, because they leave it on such a like he beats Smith. Spoiler alert for 15-year-old movie, like, or 20-year-old. How long?
20, yeah.
2000. It came out in like 2002, right? Like Revolutions. It was like
Something like
99, 2001, 2002, I think, right? Something
Yeah.
like that. So spoiler alert for 18-year-old movie, something along those lines. But he beats Smith at the end with the help of Babyface, and like they just take him away. They just take Neo away. But like, was he dead? Like, was he not dead? Like, I always had that question. Like, what happened next? And then like all the Sentinels like just start floating all peacefully around, and it's like, okay, so is there peace now? Like, because it's never explicitly confirmed. They just say like, if I do it, then stop. Like, if Neo can stop Smith, like, then they'll stop attacking humans. But if Neo's dead, why would they continue the peace? Like,
Yeah.
their whole like, there's no threat to the machines if Neo is dead. Like, who's
Yeah.
gonna stop? Like, they could just go back to doing what they were doing before, and it's no problem. So, and obviously, we know now, we have some sort of answer, I guess, without even seeing the movie yet, that Neo did survive to some capacity because Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are reprising their roles
Yeah.
in this Matrix 4 movie. But again, it just begs the question. I don't even know where you would go, because that was back, like, 18 years ago when I saw that movie. I was like, a kid and wanted to see more Matrix movies. And like, upon reflection, like you were just kind of saying, John, like, where do you even go at that point? Like, they kind of told the whole story. So unless you go back to like what the architect said, where it's just like it gets rebooted, like maybe that's what's happening, is like there was peace for a long period of time, and now the machines are, instead of keeping the peace, they're like, maybe they've been secretly like rebooting the Matrix.
True. That's very true.
What I mean?
What if they flip the script? What if the humans are the ones that break the peace? What if the humans are the ones that, and this guy coming back is the machine's attempt to save itself, and maybe the machines bring, because I always had the impression that when Neo died at the end of Matrix 3, that the machines carrying him away was his source, or his code being reabsorbed into the Matrix to ensure that the machines honored whatever deal they had come up with. And maybe they need this guy back, and Neo's leading, because we know we're not getting Morpheus back too. So you're not getting the full complement of the rebels, or the ones that were fighting against it back. Maybe this is the machines need help, and Neo's coming back to balance the peace for the other side at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know, because like I said, now that I'm older, and I like, because before, 18 years ago when I was younger, not that much younger, I guess, but I guess it was like half. It was like more than half my lifespan ago. So I guess it was a while ago. Like, I just wanted to see more, and like I was like, Neo's so cool, man. Like, because like
It's cool though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, back then though, I didn't see like how bad the movies actually got in comparison
you
to
just
one
like
another.
the
Like,
Matrix.
yeah, when I was a kid, I was just like, this is really cool, man. And there was no movies like really like it at all. So you're just like living it up, But yeah, I just genuinely don't even know where they're gonna go at this point. So I find that to be it's got me hesitant, because like the same people, to some degree, at least half of them, are making this one. So I don't know. I do prefer them doing this though, like actually continuing the story in some way, rather than like they were initially tossing around ideas about doing like a Morpheus prequel movie. Like, who gives a shit? Like, in all honesty, like, I don't
True.
like Morpheus's story was about him finding like, if anything, the whole Matrix trilogy was about more like his story ended there. Like, that was his whole purpose, was finding the one. He found the one, and that played out. So Morpheus's prequel movie is essentially the first Matrix movie. So I thought that was a really stupid idea. But
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't go that route. But I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see where they go with it, and I hope that if anything, since Warner Brothers was like wanting to greenlight this thing, especially with I can't remember, is it Lena Wachowski that's doing this one, or if it's
Yeah.
not Lena, it's the other one. Or
It's not? I thought it was Lena.
I said if it's not, then it's the
Yeah.
other one because I don't know. Like it's one of the Wachowskis that are doing it. But I imagine if Warner Brothers actually greenlit this thing, despite the movies being successful, whether or not, upon reflection, they're very good. Like, I would imagine that she must have a good, or he or she must have a good idea, like for the story. So,
Sure. Yeah, the concept of the Matrix. I mean, there was so much, I don't know, reference to different philosophies and so much jargon in the last two movies that there was a general idea, but like I felt like I needed a philosophy degree to dissect and interpret and understand exactly what happened in those last two movies. The action scenes obviously were tremendous, and you had a general idea that yeah, the good guys won at the end, but there was a lot going on. I still to this day have no clue what the sequence was with the guy in the white suit. What was his name?
the architect.
Yeah, I have no effing clue what the architect and Neo talked about, besides the fact that the Matrix gets rebooted every so often in the
Yeah,
second movie.
that was pretty much my takeaway from that whole conversation was that there's been multiple, like there have been ones before him, and it's just
Sure.
this rinse repeat cycle. That's all I got from it. So if there's more to it than that, then it went over my head as well.
Yeah.
But it felt like a 20-minute conversation between those two guys, and you walked out of it going, okay, it's happened before, I guess, is what you're saying. I mean, like,
Right.
Yeah.
like I felt like there was so much more that I was supposed to get out of that I just didn't. So anyway, with it being such at least the last two being so high concept and stuff, I feel like there's no way to guess what they're going to do with this fourth one.
Yeah. I mean, that's my hope is, like I said, that they have some sort of like idea, some way to move it forward, or I don't know, like, because I was gonna say like conclude the story in like a good way, but like it kind of, not that it was like done in a good way, but it was arguably already over.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like it's interesting that they're bringing like the dude back to come play like Agent Johnson again, but like the fact that like he's returning and the Smith was returning, that just makes me think like that they're just kind of going in like the route of it being rebooted at some point.
Yeah.
Because like,
Is this officially the Matrix 4? Have
Yeah.
they said it's officially, or is it possible that this is a reboot of the franchise?
this is Matrix 4.
Okay.
Like a totally
Yeah.
new story.
Yeah. It's not a new one. Because they tossed
Okay.
around the idea of doing that, like either rebooting it or then they tossed around the idea of doing the Matrix prequel thing with
Fishburne.
yeah, Morpheus's character, and like Michael B. Jordan was like attached to some point to like
I remember
be
that.
something like, but none of that has came to fruition. Because that's the thing. Like, I would like to see if they were good. I would almost think at this point it would have been more interesting for them just to like reboot the damn thing. And just you could even call it the Matrix rebooted, and it would make sense. in
That's
the
true.
lore. Like
Yeah, perfect.
it would, and just retell the like a new generation. Just like one day, I'm sure they're gonna redo the original Star Wars trilogy, and it's even if it's the same thing, it's just gonna be retold for a new generation. That's been like 20 years. Like, they could have done a new Matrix movie, because that's kind of the beauty of the way the Matrix is structured. Is it could have been, the Matrix rebooted, but it could have been like they could have jumped hundreds of years in the future and did like a way more futuristic style, like sci-fi kind of like Earth world, like Matrix simulation, and like told like a whole new crazy stories. But it's just like a new one, it's like another thing. Like there's so much they could actually do with it. Like I was
Yeah.
always more interested too once in, like, I really like the Matrix Reloaded. Like I actually think that's actually a good movie. Despite people not liking it. Like I thought the twins were cool and everything. And
Yeah.
I liked the Merovingian. Like I liked the Frenchman, like I liked seeing like the AI like underworld shit. Like I thought that was really cool. And it's just something that kind of just happens and gets turned into a stylized fight scene as opposed to, I don't know, some real like character depth with it. But I would like to have seen him do more with that. But I don't think that's where they're going. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see, because I think anybody's guess is as good as mine. I think we're all kind of unanimously just like confused as to what their intent is with bringing an OG agent back and Keanu back and Carrie-Anne back, but then no one else is back, and it's like, well, where are you going with this? Because it's just kind of more confusing. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. The question is, guys, what do you think? Are you happy with them bringing back one of these OG agents here, Agent Johnson? Like, I think it's cool in the end that they're bringing him back, but at the same time, like I said, what does it all mean? Like, what is it all for? I mean, why is there even a Matrix 4, to be honest with you? Like, I don't know. I'm excited for it because I love the Matrix trilogy despite its flaws. So I'm looking forward to it, but it just kind of gets more confusing as more information comes along. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever you guys think, let us know down in the comment section below.